I mean, frankly, I look at the canvas of the Arab Spring, what frankly was once an Arab Spring and has now turned into a fairly deep winter. And, clearly there are things we should have done differently along the way there. What's difficult is to separate out, you have Libya, you have Syria, you have Egypt. What is the one thing? Ironically, it's not over the course of that year. But I always felt like we could have done more to support a democratic transition in Egypt, which was diplomatically a country where we actually had a lot of leverage. But again, I think you can't help but look at, and we obviously discuss all these issues in the film, the outcomes in all of these different countries where we did different things. In Libya we did go to war, in Syria we didn't, or we did against ISIS but not against Assad. In Egypt we broke from a U.S. ally, in Bahrain we didn't. So we tried lots of different ways of responding.
On Syria, the consequences of the conflict. I mean, it's portrayed as the consequences of Obama and the conflict, but let's be real, the consequences of conflict are consequences that have had profound ripple effects, whether it's the growth of ISIS, which, was sort of symbiotically, organically created because of what was happening in Syria, but also what was happening in Iraq, which predated us in large measure. The refugee flow into Europe and what effect that might have had even on Brexit. Just the suffering, more suffering per square inch than any place, today probably. Because of how it has turned out, I think it's impossible not to second guess the decisions we made along the way.